Okay, let's continue our reading of Dookie, Sookie, and Big Mo. The title of today's chapter, The Night Prowlers. Da-da-da-dum. The Night Prowlers. Several months passed, and each day brought changes. The hot, dry season had gone, and the big rains came. Dookie was no longer afraid when the thunder boomed and rolled across the sky. She knew that God was not angry, but he was sending the rain to make the rice grow so the people could have food. But baby Sookie cried when it thundered, and she was too young to understand. At such time, Dookie rocked the baby in her arms and sang the songs she had learned in the school. It was fun to play with Sookie, for now she could sit up alone on her mat. When she played with her brown toes, she would laugh. Big Mo or Dookie would peek around the corner of the doorway and squeal at her. "When will she walk?" asked Dookie one evening as she and Big Mo were playing with the baby on the floor. "In another month she should take a few steps," said Mo, "as soon as her little legs are strong enough to hold her weight." "I want her to play get me like we did when I was little," said Dookie. "I think it's time for Sookie to be in bed," said Mo. "How about showing me some more magic figures, little teacher?" After Mo had put Sookie to bed, he lighted the oil lamp on the bench. Dookie was eager to show what she had learned, and without realizing it, she was teaching Big Mo to read and write. How she laughed when he made a mistake. "No, no, Big Mo," she would say. "You make the hooks on the figures too big. I guess it's because your hands are so big. But I love you just the way you are." And then Dookie gave him a big hug. "Now it is my turn to write some magic figures that will tell you something," said Big Mo. Very carefully, he formed the characters that said, "It is time for Dookie to go to sleep. Good night, little teacher." Dookie wrote on the other side of the paper, "As you say, good night, my Big Mo." Without another word, she put away her magic stick and went to her room. Mo went outside to check on Spindly Legs and Frisky. He thought of his two little girls in the room. How he loved them. They had filled his life with happiness. Sookie means joy, while Dookie means grief. Mo had thought that perhaps he should change Dookie's name to Suracanathum, which means sunbeam. Did not seem to suit her. Somehow, it did not seem to suit her. She would still be Dookie to him. Big Mo was tired, for it had been a long day of work. But before he stretched out his mat to sleep, he knelt, folded his hands, and bowed his head. He thanked the kind Father for his many blessings, for his home and children, and for the opportunity to work for the good doctor at the mission hospital, and for the school Dookie attended. Then he asked for protection during the night, that no harm should come to his little girls. Mo said, "Amen," and in perfect trust lay down on his mat to sleep. From the adjoining room he could hear a faint sob. Then a voice said, "Big Mo, this time you forgot to kiss me." Mo had not intended to hurt Dookie. He really had forgotten. Quickly he went to the child's bed and, bending low, placed a tender kiss on her forehead. "Thank you, Big Mo," she said. "Now I can go to sleep." Mo was soon asleep. How long he slept he did not know, but he was awakened by a wild scream of terror outside the door. The scream was followed by the snarling and barking of savage jungle dogs. From the path that led to the mission, he heard another scream. Reaching for his flashlight, Mo went to the door. He could make out the figures of two men running, and behind them, snapping at their heels, were jungle dogs. How many there were, Mo could not make out in the circle of light as he flashed it in their direction. In a moment, they were gone, and all was quiet. Who were they, Mo wondered. What could they want here at this time of night? He looked at the girls and found them fast asleep. The strange noise had not awakened them. Mo lay down again and closed his eyes, wondering who the unknown visitors could be. Perhaps I will know in the morning, he said to himself. So, I don't know if you can see it, but there are two men. You see them? And they're running. And then there's a dog going over the hill. Well, that's the story about the Night Prowlers. Thank you for listening.